The following podcast contains adult content. It is not suitable for minors, professional settings, or the faint of heart. Welcome to FOREPLAY Goes South's About Last Night, a reoccurring monthly episode in which I take a story told on the stage last night's live event and release it the very next day.
All right, this is my first time, you guys. I'm also terrified of public speaking, so thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Let me challenge myself because it scares the crap out of me. So I have emotional support water bottle. But this story is my first lesbian experience.
She sounds gay, bro.
Woo! So I really felt like bisexual, pansexual since I was in college, but I married my high school sweetheart, who was a guy. Yes, he was fine. But we were together for over 25 years, and we were monogamous. So I didn't do anything with any women outside of like making out with chicks in college, because like who didn't do that, right? Yeah. Doesn't count. But anyway, so I'm with him for over 25 years. Things do not go great, so we get divorced. I take like 2 years off. I don't do anything, no sex, no dating, no nothing. Yeah, long time. So we get to the beginning of this year, so I'm ready to join the real world again, and I'm ready to get back into kink. So I get back on FET. It's been a couple years, and I find a munch. And so I go to this munch, meet a couple cool people. In particular, I met this guy. We're gonna call him T. And T and I become really, really good friends, really good play partners. And as we're getting to know each other, I'm like, hey, I want to start having sexual experiences with women. The problem is I have no fucking idea how to talk to women. I'm a super tomboy. All my friends have been guys all my life. I'm not even good at talking to women in like not sexy ways. I don't know what to say.
That's very sexy.
And so at this time, I'm not doing social stuff. I'm not coming to something like this. I'm not doing the sloshes yet. I'm just going to dungeons. And T works nights, so I'm just going to dungeons by myself. And I'm trying, I don't know, I know how to do kink. I'm not a really good social person. So, you guys have been to kink parties. Not only am I trying to talk to hot women, I'm trying to talk to hot, mostly naked women. This is goddamn terrifying. So he'd check in with me the next day. He'd call me in to be like, so did you talk to any women last night? And I'm like, no. I didn't even really make it past hi. Like, just super embarrassing. It's really bad. But we keep playing together, and eventually we plan to go to this like kinky camping weekend out of state. And I don't even know how it came up, but when we're talking about planning this, he's like, wouldn't it be cool if we did a scene where you're like restrained and blindfolded and all these women just have their way with you? That would be cool. That would be fucking amazing, right? Super fun to talk about. We would talk about it a lot, but like, I even told him like, that's never gonna fucking happen. Like, but we all know this. So, weeks go by, we go down to this kinky weekend out of the state, we get all set up. And the next day we do our education stuff, we have lunch, we have dinner, we meet a bunch of cool people, really fun dungeon party that night, and we go to bed. Well, the next day, T is like, hey, you know that scene we talked about? You mean like the one with all the women? He's like, yeah, I talked to a bunch of people yesterday, and if you still want to do it, I have the women that want to do it. So in my head, I'm all like, oh my fucking God, this is really happening. But I'm like, yeah, that's cool. We can still do it. So we go through all the education stuff. We have lunch. We have dinner. It's time for the dungeon party. I am so excited and terrified at exactly the same time. But we go in. We tell the DM what's going on. And we had kind of agreed this was going to be an anonymous thing. I have no idea who the women are going to be. So we get some music going. I get naked, put a blindfold on, and I am handcuffed up to a feather bar hanging from the ceiling. Woo! Go big or go home, you guys. So I hear the door open and I hear these women come in. We are really gonna do this. And then I just start feeling like hands touching me. I start feeling fingernails raking down my back. Somebody starts sucking on one of my boobs. Somebody's pinching my nipple. People are whispering sexy things in my ears. Somebody starts going down on me. This is goddamn amazing. I don't even know how many women are doing this. Eventually it gets a little awkward, like tied up to the ceiling, so they unhook me and lay me down on the ground, still blindfolded, no idea how many women are going, but they just continue to have their way with me until I am just completely spent. It was crazy. Total loss of, time and space. I don't even know how long this went for. It turns out,
How it should be.
Exactly. And it turns out it was about like 6 or 7 women, which is a lot. This is my first time, you guys. But anyway, I am just completely spent. I am done. Still anonymous, so I have my little blindfold on. Everybody leaves the room, and T wraps me up in my blanket, and we have our little aftercare. And so that is how I managed to have my first lesbian experience without having any idea how to talk to women at all. So, thank you. The moral of the story is, if you have a dream and you cannot make it happen yourself, recruit a friend to make it happen for you.
If you're a woman,
This episode of Foreplay Goes South podcast was recorded and produced by event host and podcast creator Metanoia. These stories are recorded live every third Tuesday of the month at Petra's in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information about Foreplay Goes South, follow us at ForePlayGS on Facebook, FetLife, Instagram, and Twitter.